The Daily Network presents 10-11. 10 minutes of meaningful conversation with immigrant leaders and entrepreneurs every Friday at 11 a.m.
Hi, Khody. How are you?
Hi, Diana. I'm feeling great today. Yesterday, like I told you, was my 25th birthday, and I started out the day running 25 kilometers. So I'm doing well. I'm recovering from yesterday, a little bit sore, but feeling good, feeling good.
Perfect. Good to hear, Khody. Now, first, I'd like to say thank you for being here. And we really, personally, I really love to know you more because we want to encourage youth to join us, share their experience. So with that, can you tell us more about yourself and what you do?
Yes. So what I do is I own a credit repair startup. It's about a year old right now. I've been doing this for about less than a year. And basically what I do is I help people improve their credit scores so that they could be eligible for things like, mortgage or car financing at the best rates. So fun fact, a quarter of people in Canada actually have errors on their credit report that could actually negatively affect their credit score. So I suggest people to always check your credit report.
So with that, Khody, who are your target markets, the specific people that you're really helping out with your business?
Yes. So my target market is people who have credit cards. So it's pretty broad target market. So, people who are over the ages of 18 and also are kind of in the space where they're looking to buy a house soon or they're getting a new car. But these people, they either don't really know too much about credit or they do have poor credit themselves. So that's typically who I'm looking to work with.
So I'm curious because what made you decide, at a very young age, what made you decide to this business with credit repair? So you're 25 and you're in this space. Or how did it started?
Yeah, so great question. So the thing about me is that, I kind of graduated high school, and then after that, I did a victory lap of high school, and then I went straight into college. But unfortunately, college wasn't really the right fit for me because I was enrolled in an accounting program, a 4-year accounting program, but I didn't do so well because my heart wasn't in it. I just didn't feel like that was my calling in life. So essentially, it took me a long time to realize like this is what you shouldn't be doing. For example, I failed about 12 courses, and that's about like 12 grand worth of money down the drain. But anyways, so failing in a post-secondary school really made me motivated to really take a chance on myself and really build my own business essentially. So I ended up dropping out of school. And I was I was trying to look to see what is a viable business. So me personally actually come from not having the best credit. Like I had some issues with my OSAP loans. So this set me on the path of trying to figure out more and learn about credit. So, fast forward now, I've learned a lot more about credit, and I actually have been in conversations with a paralegal that has been doing credit repair for about 9 years now. So he's given me the tools and the knowledge needed to do credit repair in Canada. And
so you were basically you were your first client. You're your first
yeah,
client.
basically.
Khody, I'd like to know, can you share, do not share the name for sure, but then can you share a story or a client story that you were really able to help her out or him out?
Yeah, so the thing is with me is that I'm kind of new to the business. So the clients that I'm working with right now, it's been a few months, but typically the credit repair process takes some time. It takes upwards of six months to sometimes 9 months. So to be frank, not really much success stories as of yet. Just ask me that question in 3 months from now, and I'll be able to give you some
I
some good
will,
answers.
I will be back. I will be back. Now, so because you are in the credit repair space, I'd like to know what are your advices to people to maintain or improve their credit?
Sure. So the most important thing when it comes to credit repair is being able to pay your bills on time, your credit and your credit card, for example, because like payment history is like one of the biggest factors for calculating your credit score. It takes up about 35% of your score. So I want to say like that's like the main thing for people to understand, just to pay things on time, because your credit score is essentially like how good of a borrower are you, so that other lenders can assess your credit worthiness, basically. So just make sure you pay things on time. Secondly, make sure you check what your credit report, check your credit report every single year, because fraud is a thing, identity theft and all that stuff. So you want to make sure that you're making sure that everything is accurate and up to date on your credit report. And the last thing is, what is the last thing I should give away? Learn.
Things that, okay, with that additional question, like things that people shouldn't do for the sake of their credit.
Okay, yeah. So things people shouldn't do. So I want to say don't open up like too many credit cards at once. Like don't be hunting for credit. Like for example, like opening multiple credit cards simultaneously, because this kind of makes you look kind of desperate, like for credit, and it will reflect negatively on your credit report, because every time you do an inquiry, that kind of lowers your score a little bit. So we have all that stacking up. It's gonna ding your score a little bit. So don't do that.
All right. Khody, with that, I'd like to know, because you're in business right now, is there any particular book that helped you or that you'd like to share that that you would say this is the book that helped me start out?
Well, there's a great book. There definitely are a few books that I've read. One in particular, which was kind of like a broad one that a lot of people have read. It's called Think and Grow Rich. I read that book. Unfortunately, though, I didn't finish the book though. I was like 80% done, but like the biggest takeaway from the book is just realizing that it really stems from the mind. We need to really make sure that we have to believe it before we can achieve it, essentially. But I want to say right now, my favorite book is in terms of like motivating me to get from point A to B, is a book that I'm reading right now by David Goggins. It's called Can't Hurt Me. And it just really challenges my mindset and kind of what I think is achievable, because basically the premise of the book is that a lot of people give up at 40% of their efforts, when we have a lot more energy in the tank. So that kind of just motivates me to put my best foot forth every single day.
Can't Hurt Me. Okay. I would just like to go back to when you mentioned the first book. Okay. I have a good news for you, because most of like the most successful people I knew and I've interviewed here, that's their most read books by far.
Yeah.
So that's a good start, right? Okay.
Yeah, definitely. I need to finish the book though.
Yes, you need to. You need to. Now, any last words or any advice, as a youth in business? There are a lot of youths that are listening to our podcast right now. What would you want to share to them?
Yeah. So my biggest, I want to like offer some kind of advice when it comes to being a new entrepreneur, because it's a lot different from your typical job, like your day job, which is a typical 9 to 5. I want to say entrepreneurship is a lifestyle, because you really need to manage yourself in order to get from point A to B and get far. So what I really want people to focus on and really make sure that they get right is time management and Well, really, it really comes down to self-management because, time is constant. We can only manage ourselves within time. So if we know how to manage yourselves and operate on a schedule where you're making time for the business, and this is something I need to do as well, like tracking my progress, then that would definitely help people out. So yeah, just learn to manage your time, learn to, really learn to really visualize what you want, and that would help you get far. And try to not waste time. In today's society, it's so easy to waste time. I mean, you have the internet, which we're like all basically addicted to. We need to really manage our time and allow us to only put our times towards things that are beneficial for us at the end of the day.
I like what
Yeah.
you said when you mentioned the word tracking, because sometimes we are so set on setting goals and then just looking at point A and point B without even checking and assessing that there's a line that we need to track
Yes,
between point A and B. And I love that. So thank
exactly.
you very much for that, Khody, and thank you for being here with us today.
No problem, Diana. Thank you very much for having me. This is like my first, interview as a young
There will be
new
more.
entrepreneur. I
There
hope
will be
so.
more. And I will talk to you again, 3 months down the road, I will talk to you again. All right. So you
Okay,
have
definitely.
a good day, Khody. Bye-bye.
All right, thanks. You as well, Diana. Bye.
The Daily Network presents 10-11. 10 minutes of meaningful conversation with immigrant leaders and entrepreneurs every Friday at 11 a.m.